Manufacturing is growing again. Factories are opening, investments are rising, governments are pushing production back home. But if you think this is a recovery, you are missing the real story. Because what's happening right now is not a menu comeback, it's a rebuild. And it's changing who wins and who gets left behind. This is INDUSTRIQO, where we just don't track manufacturing industry. We break down what it actually means for the people building real businesses. For decades, manufacturing was optimized for one thing: efficiency, lower cost, global supply chains, just in time systems. But that model had one flaw: it had no control. And now everything is shifting. Manufacturing is being redesigned not as an industry but as a national asset. So here's the tension: growth is back, but so are the constraints. Costs are rising, policies are tightening, and the technology is reshaping operations. So the question is this actually a good news for manufacturers, or is the game becoming harder to play? So the manufacturing is expanding but under pressure. Recent data shows US manufacturing expanding for the fourth straight month. On the surface, that sounds like a recovery, but look closer. Prices are rising again, tariffs are feeding into costs, input pressures are building. This is not a clean growth. This is controlled expansion under constraint. Demand is coming back, but it's being shaped by policy, cost structures, and supply chain realities. So, what does this change? It means you are not operating in a free market anymore. Margins will be harder to protect, pricing power becomes critical, operational discipline matters more than ever. And here's what happens next: manufacturers who rely on the cost advantage alone will get squeezed. So growth is back, but freedom isn't. Governments are tightening control. A new US Senate bill is pushing stricter environment of buying America rules. This affects infrastructure, transportation, and federal spending. This is not just regulation. This is industrial policy becoming enforcement driven. Governments are no longer just supporting manufacturing, they are dictating how supply chains are built. Why does a manufacturer care? Because your customer base may shift towards compliance driven demand. Your sourcing decisions may no longer be purely economic, and your eligibility for contracts may depend on geography. So, what happens next? Companies that align with policy win disproportionately, those who don't get locked out. The biggest risk is not inefficiency anymore, it's misalignment. So factories are being rebuilt locally and digitally. In just 1 month, Siemens opened a US facility, Diageo expands the productions, and Oxbow launches manufacturing operations. At the same time, Cleveland Cliffs partners with Palantir to bring AI into steelmaking. So this is the real shift. Manufacturing is becoming local in geography but global in intelligence. Physical production is moving closer to the markets, but decision making, that's becoming data driven, centralized, and software powered. So what does this change? Being local is no longer enough. You also need data visibility, process intelligence, digital control systems. So what happens next? Factories without a digital layer will fall behind faster than those without scale. The new factory is not just built with machines, it's built with data. But here's the real shift most people are missing. If we put all of this together, growth is returning, governments are tightening control, production is localizing, and technology is embedding into operations. This is not a cycle. This is a system redesign. So manufacturing is no longer just about making products. It's about where you produce, how you comply, and how intelligently you operate. So let me ask you something. If your factory stayed exactly the same for the next 3 years, would it still be competitive in this new system? So now let's see the impacts of all of this. So first is cost advantage is no longer enough. You need pricing, power, positioning, and differentiation. One is policy awareness is now a strategic function. Ignoring government direction is no longer an option. Third one is digital capability is becoming a baseline, not an upgrade, not a future investment. It is a requirement. So if you want more breakdowns like this, real signals, not just surface level insights, so subscribe to the industry go. And if you are a manufacturer trying to adapt to this shift, whether it's positioning, inbound demand, or digital presence, we help manufacturing companies stay visible and competitive in this new environment. Link in the description. Now, manufacturing is not going back to what it was. Not global first, not cost first, not even efficiency first. It's becoming strategic, controlled, and intelligent. And the manufacturers who understand this early won't just survive this shift, they will define it.